Moving an Azure Virtual Machine from one resource group to another is a common task when organizing your cloud environment. Azure resource groups are containers that hold related resources for an Azure solution. By default, resources like virtual machines, networks, and storage accounts are grouped together in a single resource group. However, there are times when it might be necessary to move a VM to a different resource group for better management, billing, or organizational purposes. In this video, we will guide you through the process of moving an Azure VM to another resource group using the Azure portal. Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. I'm Manhar and welcome back to MSFT WebCast. Before proceed, make sure you meet the prerequisites. You must have at least the owner or contributor role on both the source and target resource groups. Additionally, you must have sufficient permissions on the resources being moved. The resource groups should be in same Azure region. You cannot move resources between regions directly. Both the source and target resource groups must be part of the same subscription. If you need to move resources to a different subscription, you will need to follow additional steps. Azure resources can't be moved if a read-only lock exists on the source destination resource group or subscription. First, we need to log into the Azure portal. Open your preferred web browser, navigate to portal.azure.com and sign in with your Azure account. Under Azure Services, click on Resource Group. For this demo, we are using two resource groups, FreeVM-RG01 and RG-Linux VMs. Click on RG-Linux VMs to view the resource group. As you can see, all the resources related to our Azure VM FreeLinux-VM01 are stored under this resource group. We want to move this Azure VM and its related resources to another resource group named FreeVM-RG01. For simple environments where you do not have availability sets or do not use Recovery Services Vault to backup VMs, moving a virtual machine is relatively simple. To keep this video simple, I have created an Azure VM without using availability sets or Recovery Services Vault. Find and click on the VM you want to move to another resource group. In the VM's overview page, click on the Move button located at the top of the page. From the drop-down menu, select the target resource group. Click Next to continue. This wizard will only move the virtual machine, not the associated resources. Obviously, we are not going to do that. Let's close the wizard. Let's see the second option to move the VM. Go back to Resource Group. Select the resources that you want to move. To move all of the resources, select the checkbox at the top of the list or select resources individually. Since we are moving an Azure VM, we need to select all dependencies such as the network interface, network security group, managed disk, and virtual network. In the top bar, click on Move. This button gives you three options: move to a new resource group, move to a new subscription, or move to a new region. Click on Move to another resource group. Using this wizard, we can move the VM and its associated resources to another resource group. However, there is a small issue with this method. We need to know all the associated resources of our VM as we must select them before moving it. Under Target, select the destination resource group to which you want to move the VMs. From the drop-down list, select the FreeVM-RG01 resource group. Click Next to continue. The wizard will check if these resources can be moved. It will identify any pending dependencies that need to be resolved. This step may take a few minutes to complete. During the move operation, both the source and target resource groups are locked. You can't create, delete, or update resources within these resource groups while the move is in progress. However, existing resources remain fully operational. You need to resolve any dependency error that you might encounter before you continue. You can go back to the Resources to Move tab and change your selection. Once the dependency validation is completed, select Next. On the Review tab, under the Selection Summary, check the source and target subscription and resource group settings. Once you are ready, select I understand that tools and scripts associated with moved resources will not work until I update them to use new resource ID. To start moving the resources, select Move. The moving process will begin and it may take several minutes to complete depending on how many resources you are moving. Once the move is complete, you will receive a notification moving resources complete. In our example, the process took approximately 6 minutes to complete. The final step is to verify that your Azure VM is moved to the destination resource group. Go back to the source resource group. Click on Refresh. We can see that we don't have any resources in the source resource group. On the destination resource group, we can see the Azure VM has been moved successfully in the same region. Moving an Azure VM to another resource group is a straightforward process, but it's important to follow the steps carefully to avoid any disruptions. The overall process involves selecting the appropriate resources and initiating the move operation. Always remember to double-check resource dependencies, ensure you have the correct permissions, and test the move operation in a non-production environment before performing it in a live system. That's all for this video on how to move an Azure VM to another resource group. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on Microsoft Azure and other Microsoft related topics. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.